The Unemployed Actress, I've take one. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Unemployed Actress. I am Lobcke, I am her, I'm she, she's me. This week we are talking keeping in shape, body, mind, spirit. How do you do it? Disclaimer, I give no advice. I am not a registered anybody. I am not a registered anywhere. I'm not a registered, please. No, that is not what I'm here for. This is a space in which I would love to create conversation around being an unemployed actress in the entertainment industry, what that looks like for people, for creatives who are not actively working in the industry, who are still waiting on the big break, or just waiting on a break, just waiting on something to do. So this is by no way 5 ways to unwind body, mind, and soul. That's not this. This is how I unwind. How do you unwind? Yay for unwinding. So now that that's all cleared up, let's talk. I've mentioned this a couple of times before. My day job is a corporate one. I don't get to be as creative as I'd love to be. In fact, by definition, I want to be working in a creative space 90% of my workday, but that is not my reality. So I am very big on keeping creative then, on honoring my creative mind, because I don't get to do that in the 40 plus hours I spend in a corporate office in a week. So how do you keep creative? How do you keep creatively engaged, keep on top of things? I remember when I was in university, when every year when the Oscars came around, my class, we would pick someone's house, which is usually the rich guy's house because his parents had a home in Camps Bay. So we knew the liquor cabinets are stacked. There's a view and there's space for everybody. It's not our little tiny cramped apartment. He lived with his parents, so there was space for all of us. And we're in South Africa, so the Oscars are at 3 a.m. on a Monday morning. And we'd go to his house on a Sunday. We'd arrive at about 8. No, in fact, we'd arrive around 10. And then we'd do pre-drinks, we'd have snacks, and then we'd watch the red carpet, and we all have opinions on the red carpet, and then we'd watch the Academy Awards together. And we'd have Oscar parties every year for 3 years, really, where we would watch the Academy Awards together. And before that, we would have watched all the films. So by the time we came to our Oscar party, everybody knew who we needed to win, who we were voting for, who we were rooting for, why we were voting for them, like what song, what script, what director, producer, best picture, all of these needed to win because we'd watched all the films. We made a point of that. It was the time of bootleg films, so everybody was sharing hard drives, sharing viruses, but for the sake of the art, we were happy to do that. We'd have to upgrade the laptop's antivirus every other month, but it needed to be done. Movies needed to be watched. I remember I had film studies, and film studies, every week you had to talk about a new film that you'd seen. So every week we were watching films. And honestly, that is something that I've carried with myself throughout, since graduating. I don't get to do it every week. I'm not even going to lie. I don't get to watch a new film every single week. But at least in a month, I would have wanted to at least see 1 or 2 new films or start a new series. Just plug in to my industry. plug into the acting, plug into what stories are being told in film, what actresses are coming up, what actresses are still up, what is happening in the industry. So I very much keep creatively engaged in that way. I make it a point to do that. It's my downtime. It's how I decompress from the office world. It's how I plug in my USB into creativity. It's how I go. I might not be able to be on set, but by God, I'm going to be watching movies, and there is nothing like a cinematic experience. There is nothing like watching a film and just experiencing it, and watching really good artistic films sometimes. I mean, sometimes you need a bit of just any old thing. Sometimes you need to break up the intensity, or you need to break up with the mundane with like an episode of Friends, and binge Friends again, or binge New Girl again, or Big Bang Theory, or How I Met Your Mother. Those are my sitcoms for levity. But when I'm actually going in and I want the cinematic experience of it all, then I actually go in search of good films, and it sort of it awakens my creativity again. It awakens the actress in me. It reminds me why I want to be an actress, why I want to tell stories, why I want to evoke emotion in people, why I want to be a representation of someone, why acting appeals to me this much. I watched a film, Past Lives. I'm sure you've seen it, or you haven't seen it. If you haven't, go see it. If you have, wow, right? Past Lives, and a long, not even long, complicated plot, just plot. Childhood sweethearts, she moves away, they get in touch over Facebook, they do a long distance thing, it doesn't work, they break up, she gets married, and then they meet again, and the story sort of unfolds in this, and sort of speaks to storylines, really, encounters, past lives, choices that we make as people, the what if of it all, the what if of the great dating game. What if I chosen him? What if I stayed? What if I didn't leave? What if we didn't move? What if, what if? I'm gonna link the trailer to Past Lives in the description, because it's definitely worth seeing. But what's so beautiful about the actress, Greta Lee, is watching her just, the performance she gives is so, I want to say muted, but so honest and so tangible that I just went, this is why we act. This is why I want to be an actress. Films like this remind you of why you want to be an actress. To watch this actress bring this normal woman to life, breathe life into her, show us her struggles, the duality of her character, this just beautiful storytelling on the part of the actor. I mean, a lot of it is script and directing, and when things are written well, it's the age-old, can you make a bad movie out of a good script, or a good movie out of a bad script, all of that. But she did such a beautiful job that when I sit down to watch films like that, it's just such a relief to my creative soul that I instantly feel better. I feel at one with myself. I feel harmonious with myself. I suppose it's almost like a spiritual experience. And I started this by saying this is an advice. It's really just looking into how it is that the unemployed actor or the unemployed creative keeps locked into their creativity. Do you write? Do you paint? Do you design things? Are you reading? Are you listening to music? What keeps you tapped into your creativity? What reminds you that you are a powerhouse of a creative, that you've got something to say, that there's a globe inside of you that needs to be let out? And even if you let it out in little pieces, in different ways, what does that look like for you? Because for me, I have a holy experience just watching a film. And it reminds me that is why I love the industry. And that's why I want to be a part of it. Many people in my life have said, you can't be an actor. Oh my God, it's people sell their souls there. It's the Illuminati there. It's, oh my God, it's just the money making. It's just drugs, sex, and rock and roll. And I rebuke them firstly. Let them be rebuked, because it's a no from me. It's a no from me. As a creative, you know why you want to be in the industry. You know what you want to say. You know what it is that you want people to experience when watching you or when experiencing your films or listening to your music. And that is, for some, the intention behind wanting this so badly. So I've gone off on a tangent. I've spoken about a very dreamy film. But really my question is, what do you do to remind yourself that you are creative? So that you don't get lost in the world of castings not booked, of messed up auditions, of corporate, of being the struggling artist. But how do you remind yourself that you are just an artist? Sound off in the comments, because I want to know. Please share your amazing and beautiful stories, which I know you possibly have. And thank you so much for joining me for another week of The Unemployed Actress. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Tell your mama to tell her mama to tell her friend that I am out here being an unemployed actress, and I like to be unemployed. So if you guys can do the things that need singing, I'd appreciate it. See you next time.